Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Now we're talking about Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. This is the um, theatrical release movie. Up until this point, Wallace and Gromit was just shorts. After they made a short after this that we'll be talking about, but very interesting movie in the sense that this was part of DreamWorks and Aardman's collaborations, and you definitely see elements of the flaws in their collaborations in this movie. And I definitely think this movie is a fun movie that I do really love. It is not as good as the shorts. This is a very delightful movie. You know, Wallace turns himself into a bunny, and it's such a delightful time. You know, these characters are always fun to be around and stuff. The animation in this film is gorgeous and phenomenal. You know, it being on a theatrical scale is awesome, and they do some really innovative technology with the Were-Rabbit and other pieces of things that they make throughout the movie. That's really beautiful and really cool, and I really loved to see in this movie. But I don't think that the movie it itself is as good as the shorts because this movie doesn't feel as grand as the shorts, and it's hard to explain why. But it felt like shorts like A Close Shave or The Wrong Trousers. Their climax were something about them felt more grand and epic scale than something like this movie, which is kind of weird because it's a theatrically released film. Also, one thing to know about DreamWorks collaborations with Aardman is that they did make them cast a lot of celebrity voices, and I did notice them in the movie. They weren't bad, but I would have preferred real voice actors, you know, and that's one thing that sucks. But they were able to give pretty decent performances. You know, Ralph Fiennes, I think it's Ralph Fiennes. I think he's the one who plays the villain in the movie. Does it say? Does not say. Whatever, but you know, it's a great movie. It's wonderfully directed. It captures some really great classic horror imagery and vibes. It's a fun time. It's a fun movie to watch around October. You know, dealing with vegetables and you know start thinking about pumpkins and stuff in October, that sort of thing. It does really have that kind of October like September type November feel to this movie, and I do really like watching this movie around that time. But you know, it's probably the Wallace and Gromit short product I watched the least out of all of them. I watch this like once every few years or so. I'm not a huge fan of it compared to the rest of the franchise, but I still love this movie. It has a great score to it. I wish I could buy the score on vinyl, but I try to find a vinyl, and I think either they don't make one or it's out of print and it goes for a little bit of money, so that's unfortunate. But I do really love this movie. This is a great movie, and you know, not as great as the shorts, but I think that's fine. It is able to be a really great movie, and it was the first ever stop motion animated film to win Best Animated Feature, and that's pretty notable, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, this is back when the Academy actually had diverse choices in their animated feature winners, but yeah, really cool.